Hey y'all, so let's pick back up where we left off yesterday and talking about that well balanced, untroubled mind. So I want to move to the next definition, I suppose is what we'll call it, the next description of the spirit that God has given us, and that is discipline. I know we don't like to talk about discipline, and that sometimes it feels like it's a bad thing, but discipline is very, very good. And this scripture in the Amplified Version says that He has given us a spirit of power and love, a calm and well balanced mind. So remember, that is free from agitation, free from disturbance, an untroubled mind, and discipline and self control. So, discipline is control gained by enforcing obedience or order. Self control is restraint exercised over one's own impulses, emotions, or desires. So, we can pull those definitions apart. We can meditate on those definitions and understand why those would be descriptors of the spirit that God gives us. Control gained by enforcing obedience or order. Self-control is restraint exercised over one's own impulses, emotions, or desires. Well, fear is an emotion, right? So if God has given us a spirit of self-control, then that would mean we could control our emotions. You know, we do this a lot with our children because it's very easy for children to get overwhelmed. And so this is a great way for us. We talk about self-control. We talk about deep breaths. We talk about calming down. And in the same way that we talk to our children about those things, we would be wise as adults to do the same thing, to really remind ourselves to take deep breaths, to calm down. And that is taking control over the situation and emotions and desires. Discipline is control gained by enforcing obedience or order. So God has given us a spirit of discipline, right? And so think about that. Enforcing obedience or order. God is not a God of chaos. And so when everything seems to be chaotic and out of control, we have been given a spirit that is empowered to bring order, right? To bring order. These are things that we have to meditate on to be, as Romans 12:1 says, transformed by the renewing of our mind. Because when we talk about our spirit being a spirit of discipline and self-control, that we have been empowered to walk in discipline and self-control. That simply means keeping order. That it's not that we're rigid or, have those negative connotations that discipline sometimes has. But in our lives as a Christian, in our lives as followers of Christ, when things get out of order, we need to be, it needs to be like second nature that we just stop and pull it back in. Y'all, I'm the queen of the tailspin. I can have so many different hats on at one time that I feel like I'm spinning in a circle. I would be much better off if I would pause in those moments and just call back into order, right? If I would be disciplined and separating things out and not allowing myself to be overwhelmed because of the pressures of this life. So I'm not telling you anything that I'm not remembering and thinking on and meditating myself. And that, Nancy Joe, if you want to be free from agitation and disturbance, if my spirit is to be calm and well balanced and untroubled, then when those moments come when I feel like I'm just spinning in circles and not getting anything done, I am empowered to stop and call things back into line. Get some order in there. Because if I don't, fear and anxiety are going to press in because I'm going to feel like I can't get it done. I'm not going to get it done. I'm not enough, failure. And that's just not truth. And so we have been given a spirit of discipline and self-control. And we will pick up here tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.